What is up, YouTube? Today, we're taking a look at the best revised vector attachments and calibrations in Delta Force. The vector is overlooked a lot, but lately you have been asking to see a revision for it, and there's been a couple of changes since 6 months ago when I made the previous build. With this build, I was able to squeeze out even more performance from the vector after hours of testing, and I'm very happy with the results. Today, we're keeping the insane 220 millisecond time to kill while having 70 rounds while still keeping great control and handling. I'm also making sure that the visual recoil is as minimal as possible without hurting the rest of the stats, that way you can actually see what you're shooting at. The main difference between this build and the old one is that I was able to find some optimizations in the recoil while keeping the rest of the stats intact. So you will be able to easily shred enemies in short ranges, as it's one of the quickest time to kill weapons in Delta Force. Just don't forget that it is a short range SMG and you want to stay within those 50 meters. You should only take it further after some practice. And with all of that said, let's get into the attachments. We begin with a blank vector, and let's start with the barrel as usual, where we put on the vector longsword ultra long barrel. This will increase the range, the muzzle velocity, the control, the stability. It does hurt our handling a little bit, but we are going to fix that later. And if you're using it with toxic, it really won't matter at all. Also, it gives us a whole bunch of new slots, so let's put it on. Next up is the muzzle device, where we're going for the titanium contest muzzle brake, because it gives you that perfect balance in between vertical and horizontal recoil, and this gun has both of those. So as you can see, it really calms down the original pattern and it makes it a lot easier to control. So let's put it on. Next up is the foregrip, where the RK0 foregrip seems to be the best one because there's a bit more vertical recoil than horizontal on this weapon due to the insane fire rate of 1091 rounds per minute, and it doesn't really hurt any other stat, but most importantly you do get that vertical firing stability and vertical firing camera stability. Both of these things are extremely useful to reduce that shake whenever you're firing. A lot of the time the camera shake is actually much worse than the recoil itself, and having more camera shake actually makes it feel like you have more recoil than you really do. Lastly, the RKO foregrip doesn't really hurt your horizontal recoil as much as some other recoil mitigating attachments, because there's always that trade-off in between horizontal and vertical, and this one doesn't touch at all the horizontal. So let's put this on today. Next, for the left rail and the right rail, we really can't put anything unless you want to put a laser on it, but I'm not going to put that on today because it will show our location whenever we're aiming anywhere, and people will be able to see us much easier if you have a laser on. So therefore we ignore these and the upper rail because we also can't put anything but a laser here, and instead for these 4 patches up here, first on the upper rail and then the right patch, left patch and the upper patch, we're putting on the Ranger handguard panels because each one of these is going to give us +1 control in a very balanced way. This is going to affect your horizontal, your vertical and your firing stability all equally. That is +4 easy control right there. Moving on to the magazine, we put on the 70 round magazine. Although it hurts our handling, we're actually going to fix this in a bit, and because our fire rate is again insane, we really need these 70 rounders. If you want a faster ADS time and faster ADS walking speeds, then go for the 40 round extended mag, but at this fire rate 40 rounds is just not enough. So let's go for the 70 round magazine and we'll fix the handling in a bit. Next up on the optic, as usual, I will be going for the Cobra accuracy sight, but again this is always preference. In pretty much all of my builds this is preference. You can change it to be whatever you want. Just keep in mind that these don't really affect your handling or any other stat, and therefore that's why I like my 1x sights, and it's already raised, so I don't really need to put on any sort of riser because each riser will be hurting your firing stability, as you can see here. So I don't really like to do that whenever I can. Instead I just like to get an optic that is already lifted so that nothing interferes with my sight picture. So I will be going for the Cobra accuracy sight, but you can choose whatever else you want here. Last but not least, on the stock we're going for the skeleton sniper stock. This greatly increases your handling and your stability, as in it's going to give you much better ADS times and it's going to give you much better ADS walking speed while also improving your visual recoil. Because it is an SMG, you really care about both of these things, while it only really hurts your control by a tiny little bit, and this is going to be mitigated by calibration anyways, so it's totally worth putting this on. Now this is the finished build for the vector, but we have not done any calibration, so let me show you what the detailed stats look like right now. First, starting off with the fall off multiplier, we of course have increased this due to the barrel that we put on, but this is not going to change changed due to the calibration, so let's move on to the control now, where you can see that both our vertical and horizontal recoil have gotten much better, and we've even helped the firing stability a little bit. And of course, we're going to make this even better with the calibration, which we are going to need because the weapon fires so fast. Next up on the handling, we have a pretty reasonable ADS speed. This is not as fast as we wish we could have it on an SMG, but we are going to improve it a little bit due to the calibration, and the ADS movement speed is going to be improved a lot after the calibration. Most of the time I would actually argue that ADS movement speed is more important than current ADS speed, as long as the ADS speed is actually reasonable. And again, if you're playing Toxic, this is not even going to matter because of the buff that she gets. And last but not least, on the stability, you can see that our visual recoil is going to be minimal due to our current lens stability while firing being so low. The only things that are going to change here due to the calibration are the breath sway range and the movement stability, which are going to get a tiny bit worse, but you will see that our final numbers are still going to be amazing. Also, the current breath holding duration is high enough that all you have to do is hold your breath as you shoot and you won't feel the recoil as much. So now let's make the weapon even better by calibrating the vector, starting off with the barrel where we move the weight limit all the way to the minimum for the extra ADS movement speed. This is going to hurt our firing stability, but because the weapon is going to be used at such short ranges, this really won't affect you as much as you might think initially. For the length, we're also moving that down to the minimum for the extra ADS speed because as you saw, we definitely need it. And again, being an SMG, you don't really care so much about the muzzle velocity. Moving on to the foregrip, the thickness goes all the way down to the minimum for the extra ADS movement speed to make sure that we stay nice and fast. And next up is the stock, where we move the weight limit all the way to the maximum here for the extra control of course, and the cheek pad placement all the way down to the minimum, again for the ADS movement speed. Last but not least, on the optic, we're moving the eye relief all the way down to the minimum so that we can see as much as possible inside of our optics window. Now let's take a look at the new detailed stats after all that calibration. Again, fall off multiplier not going to change due to the calibration, so we move on to the control where you can see that we have made this much better than before. The firing stability pretty much stays at the default, while the rest is helped greatly, making it much easier to control this weapon at any range. Just make sure that you really get some practice in if you actually want to take this any further than like 40 or 50 meters. Next on the handling, you can see that we have definitely improved this, especially the current ADS movement speed. This makes it a lot easier for you to strafe so that people can't hit you as easily. The current ADS speed is actually pretty reasonable now because there's not that many other builds that actually match this type of ADS speed. And last but not least, as I said, on the stability, the breath sway range was made worse just by a tiny little bit, and the current movement stability was made worse by just a tiny little bit, but you can see that these numbers are still amazing as they are. Everything else is unchanged, so you just get the raw performance of having such great stability. And now that you know the stats and we have dialed in our attachments and calibrations, let's hop into the firing range to see how it handles. For this first magazine, I'm not going to control any of the recoil. I actually have my mouse completely off the mouse pad, and you can see that most of the recoil is just vertical. There are a couple of zigzags that you really don't get to control that easily, so I wouldn't really focus so much on those until later when you get a lot more practice. Now for the second magazine, without holding my breath, I'm going to try to control the recoil as best I can inside of this little circle and just try to get the best grouping that I can. And as you can tell, this is no joke. This weapon, although we have controlled so much of the recoil while keeping the handling usable, it's still no joke to control. So you're really gonna have to put it in practice, and this is why you cannot use this thing past like 50 meters unless you really know what you're doing with it. So for the third magazine, I'm actually going to hold my breath while I control the recoil so that you can see how much easier it becomes when you're actually holding your breath. That was not as unruly this time. It's still pretty hard to do just because of the fire rate of the weapon, but you should definitely have an easier time while holding breath. The Vector has an extremely fast time to kill, and it's a lot easier to control than one would really expect after you get some practice. Just don't forget to practice in the firing range for at least 5 minutes with it, because you will not be able to just pick this up and go. And make sure to stay within 40 or 50 meters until you get a lot of practice in, because you will be much more successful that way. And now that we have the build locked in, let's jump into a 91 kill game in trench lines to see the setup in action. Enjoy! Oh hello, what are you doing over here? Playing in trench lines today as Toxic with the Vector. Kind of trying to be careful here with this person from the right. Let me see if I can get him now. Where are you? There you are. That's a 37 meter kill with the Vector. Pretty easy to do, honestly, and especially with a little bit of practice. Let's heal up and see who else we can get. Look at you, look at you. Who was shooting at me from the right? I'm really curious. Let's get you first, you second. One more shot. Oh, I missed. No. I should have pulled just a tiny bit more to the right. But let's get you instead. I hear somebody. This little boost thing, the buff that you get from Toxic, which is why I play her a lot, Not only does it give you a whole bunch of handling, as in the form of ADS speed and ADS walking speed, but it also helps your flinch. As you just saw there, I barely flinched when that guy hit me. I see you. That guy knows exactly where I'm at. I'm surprised he hasn't just come around and killed me. Trying to stay behind him right now and hope that they don't see me. Hello. Okay, hold on. Stop strafing. We're pretty much so far behind him right now, actually. This is perfect. I have 0 ammo, though. I gotta pick up some ammo from some bodies or something. Let's get on the point here. Let's go, team. We got this. We're doing it. Make sure to get you too. Just a tiny bit of practice. You can definitely get shots like that with a Vector. Don't be scared. Don't be scared by the fire rate and the small bits of recoil that you might see. I see you right behind us, and you probably have no ammo, so let me just do that. Yeah. Just make sure they don't see me as I cross once again. That's really how you should be using smokes if you do have them. Don't block your own team. Block the enemy team with a smoke. I saw her because of the laser, just like I saw that guy because of the laser too. There we go. Got him. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe he didn't kill me. He was probably aiming at my teammate that whole time, I bet. If you only get headshots on the Vector, you will have a 165 millisecond time to kill, which is kind of insane. It's actually extremely quick. And because your fire rate is so high, you can miss. You can miss a little bit. Now, this build doesn't really have the most insane ADS speed, but as you can tell in the trenches, even when you meet somebody really up close, without even having the buff, it's still high enough. Rushing right behind him right now. Let's get him. They'll never expect me here. Gotta get that respawn beacon. She definitely knows I'm here now, but it's fine because I got a Vector and she doesn't. There you are. I know there's another one. I saw a little... Oh, wait. Okay. I guess they were already dead, so never mind. Hello. Hello. Let's get you from behind. Again, I keep finding them exactly where I don't expect them to be. I should probably stop saying hello every time that happens too, because it's gonna keep happening apparently. We are dealing 20 damage per shot, but because we have a fire rate of 1091, which is absolutely insane, because we have such a high fire rate, we actually end up having a time to kill of 220 milliseconds, and that's without any headshots. Now, of course, the muzzle velocity is a little low, so if anybody's running from side to side, you are gonna have to lead them by quite a bit. But you get used to it. You just need a little bit of practice with that. You'll definitely get used to it. I see you. Ah, you're not gonna get to do that. Not gonna get me, not gonna get me. Not when I have my buff on. That buff just makes it so that you can ADS and you have your ADS walking speed way too fast. Both of those are just too good whenever you have the buff on. Nobody can really challenge you, especially because of the hit flinch reduction that you get whenever you have that on. It's so nice whenever you're doing a 1v1 and they don't really get to flinch you. Get you first, and then we keep it going. We keep it going. You're right there. Yeah, you are. Gotta get you first. Get down, right? And then I die. That was part of the plan, though. That was part of the plan. Pretty easy kill. Let's pick up my teammate here. At 45 meters, you really should have no problems hitting those shots if they're not strafing. Okay, I thought that was a teammate. Where's another one? I know there's another one somewhere around. Oh, right there. Yeah. Now, where's your respawn beacon? I will find it. Trenches. Good. Perfect spot to be. Oh, that was the respawn beacon. Yes! Oh my goodness. Can you imagine if I had any other weapon? I don't think I would have been able to complete that. There's one. Oh, what the? Don't you throw a Volt arrow at me. Let's go to B2 now. As long as we can capture B2, I think we should be fine. This B1 was not hard to capture against these guys. Oh, bad idea. I gotta get down. Let's go. Back up. Reload. Probably should stop reloading so much. There's a whole reason why I put on a 70-round magazine. Yes, perfect. This is where the Vector comes in. It's perfect in the trenches. Where's our respawn beacon? I guess it broke. It's fine. Perfect. Yes, B2 really is ours. Notice how I'm constantly trying to get behind them, because it's so nice whenever you have such a large magazine like this one, like a 70 rounder. It's so good to be able to get them without them noticing, since you can basically get like 5 kills without reloading. I see a guy. Well, there's one. That's not the one that I was referring to, though. There was a medic nearby. Oh, hello. Wasn't expecting you. Make sure we get that respawn beacon, because I don't like them being on the side here. This buff combined with the 70-round Vector just does so much. You really gotta try it. Let's get you. Perfect. Now, do you have a respawn beacon around here too? Yes or no? Answer the question. You gotta answer. Gotcha. Very easy kill at 47 meters. Super easy to control. Hey, what do you think this is? Not gonna challenge that guy. That's a little too far for a Vector. Yeah, I got you though. I still had 32 rounds, but I decided to reload just out of habit there. I probably shouldn't have. Perfect. See you too. Yes, yes, yes. Can I get you? Oh no, my teammate got you. Okay. I just wanted that extra kill, you know? I'm a little greedy sometimes. Got you there. Okay, that's a fire. See you here. Get the respawn beacon too. Make sure none of them can spawn there. Perfect, perfect. Here we go. Still had 41 rounds, but I keep reloading out of habit. I need to really stop doing that. We're getting D1 though. Now all we gotta do is hold on to D2 because they can't really spawn around the D1 area. But should be an easy capture for the team. Hey, what you up to? I got you, teammate. Don't you worry. Is that a respawn beacon? Yes, it... Oh, who shot at me? Stop it. I see you. I got a guided missile. I could probably revive you now. Yeah, look at that. I literally just saw his little red... Oh, there's a third. I mean, a fourth. That's crazy. All right, that shot there, that sniper that shot all the way at the end, that was just kind of disrespectful. I don't know if y'all saw that. I was already dead, buddy. No reason to do that, buddy. That's a war crime, buddy. Okay, let's get you. There's gotta be so many respawn beacons around here somewhere, because how are they here? You know what? Actually, hold on. My team is doing a little too good. So instead of getting them, I'm gonna launch a guided missile right around here to stop them from coming in, because my team is just doing a little too good. It's also due to how many enemies are not in the game anymore, too. So many of them left around that C point. Did I just get one kill with that? Oh, brother. At least I killed her. I don't know how she missed, but at least I killed her. There's somebody right behind it. I see you. Gotcha. There's one more, though. Oh, my recoil control was ass. I was so... Oh, my goodness. Poor guy. Just got ran over. Let's go. Let's get him here. Make sure we get the respawn beacons. Good. 70 rounds for a reason. Just gonna spam in here somewhere. I know there's somebody in here somewhere. I guess I got them all. Can you not run me over? It would be great. Amazing. Oh my god. Oh. Well, so how are you getting behind? I'm not gonna let you live. You're in a bad spot, buddy. Wrong side of town. I hear one. Or are they upstairs? I heard some footsteps. I'm not sure. Oh, they gotta be outside, actually. There you are. Gotcha. Don't blow up my teammate. Yes, that's the Vector for you. I really like this build, this new version that I got for it, and I hope you do too. So in the comments down below, let me know what you thought of this new Vector build, and if you have a way to improve it even more. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. AuxOwl out.